Everybody, and welcome into SFA Game Day. We've got Season 13, Week 8, as number 19, our defending national champion Buffalo Bulls will be going on the road to Michie Stadium and taking on number 23, the Army Black Knights. This is Coach Pinstripe versus Coach MZ, his former coordinator, and it's surely going to be a good one. Let me know if you can hear me so we can go ahead and get started. And if you're new around here, this is the SFA. It's an online dynasty ran primarily through Discord, Twitch, and YouTube. You can claim a team. You can look at the depth chart, set the depth chart, institute your playbooks and scheme, hire coordinators, and recruit players to get your team better. You can take a G5 team all the way to a national championship like the Buffalo Bulls, or you can take a struggling Power 5 team and bring them back to relevancy. If you want to join, use Discord in the chat, or link is in any of our descriptions. And if you do watch live, we are affiliated, so you might run into an ad or two. And if you want to drop a Twitch Prime, it is greatly appreciated, as any and all revenue made through the Twitch channel does go back to you guys in the form of a national championship trophy and care package. And Mush said he can hear me. Great. We've got a great one today. First time we've seen Buffalo since their national championship. They have struggled a little bit coming off of a loss against Syracuse. But yeah, so let's get into the rosters. But first, if you've been living under a rock over the last couple of weeks, we are now affiliated with the fantastic brand, the people over at Home Field. They are the premier collegiate apparel brand, best known for their incredibly comfortable, officially licensed vintage college designs. It's not just football schools. They have like over 150 colleges that they do work with. And today, believe it or not, they announced that they have a new can't miss tip-off scheduled for the college basketball season. And these are all the scheduled drops over the next 7 days. There are some very cool things in here. I've already seen some of it. Awesome. I know, snapbacks. You've got jackets. You've got shirts. Anything you need. Remember to use code SFA in the shop to get 15% off. If you have massive orders like dog water, that'll save you like $100. And you help support the SFA. So it's a win-win-win. So make sure you use the code and let me know what you got. All right, but we're gonna kick off with the away team here, as we have Buffalo, and their offense has been pretty much gutted. You've got Sean Hill as the new quarterback after Arch Manning went away. An obvious downgrade here, not nearly as quick on his feet. So we'll see how he does today. He's been up and down throughout this season. At running back, it is the dual freshman SFA players. You got Dale Shivers, who takes the majority of the carries, and you have Omari Dunn as well. At wide receiver, they got Calvin Tyrell. We've seen him for years at this point, and Eric Decker, the two SFA players. And then we got some new guys coming into the fold. We've got Mark Beverly and Calvin Sullivan that we'll probably see here today. We also got Graham Roth. He is that transfer from Ohio State, critical in their national championship run. Landrum. Well, Dogware, you couldn't get a perfect BC. You got to have something wrong. You got the true freshman, the left tackle, Hung Wong, and Sergio Lakiki, the transfer from Minnesota. BJ Stabler, the SFA player at center, the cheater. He's the only center in the history of the league to score a touchdown. Keem Townsend, and on the right side, Cam Pringle, the SFA player as well. And a little note, if you want to build up a team, kind of the meta is to start at your trench play and build outward. That's the only tip I'll give you today. And on the defensive end, we got Darius Pendleton and Jeremy Everett on the other side. I believe Matt Allen does start on the other side. He is a well-known player from last season. And in the middle, Kevin Whitmore, the transfer, I believe from Texas Tech, if I'm not mistaken, coming on over into the middle there with Hackett. So not a great defensive line, not nearly as good as they used to be. Their linebacker core, though, has not changed. They got Ray McNeil, Thrash Daniels, and Andy Clapp at right outside linebacker. And then at cornerback, you know him and you love him, Billy Zoots, the critical cog in some of those turnovers from last season. If you remember the playoff run, their defense carried them. It was Billy Zoots and Armani Campbell, the SFA player, and your cover athlete, number 27. You see him all over with our logo. Billy Grant, probably the player I hate the most in the SFA. He is still in the slot there. Probably make some ridiculous plays today. And free safety, Eddie Piper's back for the senior year, trying to repeat. And you've got Cassius Dreyer, the transfer, coming on over from LSU, the redshirt freshman. We'll see how he plays. He's taking over for Barney Fish, who went and graduated. The kicker is going to be Brad Means, I believe, or it might be Blake Foster, actually. Yeah, I believe it's Blake Foster. 94 kick power, 82 accuracy. And yeah, that is Buffalo, your reigning national champions. But they have regressed a little bit. They picked up 2 losses. They aren't dead in the division or in the playoff race, but they're definitely on their last legs. A loss here would probably end it. And they're taking on a sneaky good Army team. They were undefeated. They dropped a game to Air Force a couple of weeks ago, but they're led by 97 overall Julian Kemp. He is looking to have a big day. And their star running back, though, is hurt. So running this option offense, you're going to be primarily Jabari Manning, Mike Williamson, and Eddie Williams. We might see a little bit of him. So definitely a downgrade there for them, unfortunately. We'll see J.J. Rogers a little bit as well. At wide receiver, Isaac Shelby's the number 1 guy. But the SFA player, T.J. Sanderson, he is a complete possession receiver with that 79 speed. But they also got a speedster, Steve Carlson, in the slot as well. We'll see how these guys do. And at tight end, Eric Jenkins. The offensive line, mid-70s, mid to high 70s, low 80. And then you got Buzz Modella, the former BearCave reward player, of big-time 88 overall on that right-hand side. And the SFA player, former ECU lineman Orlando Moss. So that right side is definitely the better side. On defense, they got Evan Gibbons on one side, Todd Ward on the other, and in the middle, you've got Drew Kearney and Breedlove. So, wow. Buffalo has the better offensive line. Army has the better defensive line. So it's going to be interesting to see who wins these battles in the various positions. But Scooter Burdett, the transfer over from Iowa State, is a starter at left outside linebacker. You got Travis Rowe in the middle, and I believe Nate Johnson starts at one of the positions. I don't know which. And at corner, you've got Kenzo Carter, the 87 overall, 6'5" corner. He is an absolute beast. Nick Moses and Tom Hughes, one of their strengths is their cornerback. So I'm very interested to see Kenzo Carter, the 6'5" guy, going up against Calvin Tyrell, who's also a massive guy as well. In the back, you've got Kevin Bozeman, and on the other side, Steve Robinson. So the strength of this defense is definitely the secondary, as they do not have a great kicker. 68 overall, 75 kick power, though, so he might be able to have a little bit of range. But yeah, those are the rosters. So we're going to get on into the game here. Before we get started, I'm just going to make sure I have it on 9 minutes. If you don't know, all of our game day games are 9-minute quarters. And Army, if you're here, you get priority at picking the jerseys. And Pin, if you're here, let me know if you have a preference. Otherwise, neither of them are here. I am just going to go with the basics. Let me get the prediction started for you guys, though, as remember, we don't do spreads or anything when we do this. It's just a straight who wins. Is it going to be Buffalo, or is it going to be Army? Is Army going to shock the world here at home? We saw Navy a couple of weeks ago on this game day have a fantastic performance beating App State. So you never really know. And 2 minutes on the clock, so feel free to check it out. I don't see anything in the chat in terms of uniforms, so we're probably just going to go with the basics as we got my thumbnail. But remember, folks, I've added in commands into the chat, so if you're new around here, you can do exclamation point, the command button, Discord, to check out our Discord and join. I have the Patreon linked as well if you want to get bonus content, bonus game days each week. I also linked our home field link, so use the command if you want to check out the website while you're waiting for game day to start. They have so many cool things, and we've already had like quite a few of you guys use the code, so very impressed with the usage so far. I've ordered some stuff as well, and I'm waiting for it to come in, and I may end up doing a face reveal on Instagram, showing off what I got and getting more into the Instagram stuff. I'm trying to decide how I want to showcase home field, if I want to post it in the server or if I want to just mainly do it through Instagram stories. I think that's probably the way, so that way you're not feeling like you're getting spammed by home field content in the server. But very excited for this game specifically. If you did bet on this game, it is, as I pull up my graphic here, we've got a 3.5 point spread for Buffalo on the road and a 49.5 over under. Now remember, this is also the game where you can bet on that first touchdown. So the guy with the lowest odds is Dale Shivers, the running back for Buffalo, followed by Calvin Tyrell, the wide receiver, and Eric Decker as well. And on the other side, you got Julian Kemp, Jabari Manning, the running back starting for Reddy Rogers, and TJ Sanderson, that SFA player. So we got actually quite a bit of participation here from the poll. Normally game day polls are a bit more lackluster. Pretty straightforward BearCave if you're coming from that game. That was incredible. Hopefully this lives up to half the hype that game had, as that was an all-time classic, and that game will get its own highlight video. Yeah, so the predictions on Twitch are always one-on-one. They're always push. Yeah, for the Babanas, I never do the spread. So, all right, poll is over. I don't see anybody caring about their uniforms, so we're just going to go a traditional Buffalo versus Army. That always helps me with the Instagram graphic after the game, finding an easy snapshot from the uniforms. So, let's get into it, folks. We are at Mitchie Stadium. We are kind of featuring the military schools this season, and I love it. As statistically, man, Army's having a great defense. They did struggle against Air Force a couple of weeks ago, and we've got rain here in this night game. Oh, baby. So Buffalo, Army, obviously very close to each other geographically, as Army is in New York at West Point. So here we go. The Buffalo Bulls, our former national champions. This is a critical game. I don't want to call it an elimination game because this is the first year of the 12-team playoff, and we don't really know what's going to happen. We don't know if it's a 9-3 team can get in, but it just feels like getting blown out by East Carolina, a weird loss to Syracuse that wasn't necessarily close. Feels like you have to get these big wins over lesser opponents. As there's Armani Campbell. He is your cover athlete. First time a true SFA player has ever been the cover athlete. Martin Black was a honorary SFA player. We didn't create him, but he had so much lore. He was able to get that title. So Mitchie Stadium here. We've got rain, and Army runs the option here still, so it's going to be a fun one. Coach MZ taking on his former boss, Coach Pinstripe. We are in for a banger here, folks. I'm super hyped for this one. As the coin toss is going to go towards Army's way, and they decide to kick it off to Buffalo. So we're going to see the new look Buffalo offense led by Sean Hill first, as we are off here in Week 8 game day, and we got a return now. This is going to be Calvin Tyrell. He's brought down about the 20-yard line. And that's the matchup to watch, folks, on the outside. You got Calvin Tyrell, the big-time wide receiver, taking on Kenzo Carter, the 6'5 corner at the top of your screen, as well as in the backfield. Dale Shivers getting his first carry on the day, and he's brought down in the backfield. A big-time tackle there. Scooter Burdett, the transfer from Iowa State, making his presence known on the first play of the game. This is going to be a fantastic matchup. I cannot wait to see how this unfolds, as we're coming out empty already on the second play. Sean Hill alone in the backfield. Shivers in motion. The freshman running back. It's going to be a screen out to him, and he's brought down by who else but Kenzo Carter. He is just an absolute nightmare in the secondary out wide. He's a big reason why they are 6-1 here in the American. 3rd and 14 now. The top of your screen, Kenzo press coverage against Calvin Tyrell, and he is shadowing him here as we get an audible. Sean Hill His first throw, or second throw, is going to almost be picked off. That was into double coverage as William Hunter does tip it away. A 3-and-out for Buffalo here on the opening drive. So the punter comes on out, and Army will take over. And that is a booming punt, reversing the field, but they are going to get a nice return as they get up to about the 50. And here comes Julian Kemp, the SFA, or not the SFA player, but he was in the Heisman watch earlier this year before they lost. Got to watch out for the dreads there. That's TJ Sanderson, the SFA player. And we'll see how they work without Ruddy Rogers. They lost him for the year last week. As they run the ball here, Mike Williamson gets the first carry. And it's going to be interesting because Buffalo, they have a rather weak defensive line, but they have one of the best linebacker cores and secondaries in the country. So we'll see how that stacks up against triple option as we're going to get another toss. No, he's going to throw it here, and he takes off, and this is where they're the most dangerous. You cannot let Julian Kemp get out in space. Luckily, he was brought down there. I believe that was Cassius Dreyer, the transfer from LSU. As you got to watch out, though, also for Eddie Piper. So, Eddie Piper, the big hitter, free safety, coming in. And 3rd and 2, quick option. They get it out, but they're not going to be able to get the conversion. So, a 3-and-out here for Buffalo, or for Army now. And like it was predicted today, this might be a low-scoring game on game day today. That over-under of 49.5 is a little bit iffy, as they're not going to go for it. They are just punting it right back, and can they pin him deep? This is angling out towards the sideline. They do catch it, and he brings it past the 20-yard line. So here comes Buffalo now for their second drive. No first down yet for either team, as they're coming out in this full house, and this is one of the reasons why they did win the national championship. But they do audible out of it to an empty formation. Kind of catching Army here, and they're yamming it deep, and he connects on the outside throw. That's Eric Decker. The first big play of the game's a 38-yarder down the sideline. He gets a nice release, and Sean Hill finds him. Clean pocket. That was a bit wobbly, but hey, it worked. Welcome in, Moosamania. So now Buffalo is in business here as they're going to hand it off to Dale Shivers up the gut, and he finds some room now. That's about 9. Dale Shivers is a lot speedier of a back than Omari Dunn, who you will probably see a bit here and there today. So now in the offset eye pistol type deal, is that doesn't go anywhere. There was a play action fake, and he just threw it away. He didn't like what he saw. And now it's going to be a 3rd and 1. Can Army get off the field? Remember, one of the best defenses in the country. Stack in the box here. 3rd and 1. Shivers up the gut, and he converts. And he gets a lot more. That's about 7. But like I've been saying, what I'm really interested in is this matchup between Kenzo Carter and Calvin Tyrell. See if they can hold Calvin Tyrell off the stat sheet, as another handoff up the gut. Dale Shivers getting about 4 now. Buffalo the first to really move the ball. They're threatening scoring range as they're easily in field goal range now. They come back out in this little full house set. Omari Dunn. And they hand it off to Shivers yet again, and he pushes through the hole up to a 3rd and short now. He's averaging just over 3.5 a carry. Another 3rd down chance here for Army. They coming out in shotgun. It's going to be a handoff. No, he keeps it. And Sean Hill has some room. He has some blockers. Cuts to the outside. Touchdown, Buffalo. Sean Hill runs it in from 18 yards away to give the Bulls the early lead. I mean, it's what helped them on offense, but I think what actually won them the Natty is their ridiculous little lucky turnovers on defense. Especially against ECU. I was cooking them. Says me, who has one of the biggest blown leads in SFA history, 21-3. Rah. All right, here comes Army, though. Their second drive of the day. Can they get some push here? That first drive was not all that promising. As they get about 5, though, from Williamson. And I think maybe attacking the middle of that defense might be their best bet, attacking the defensive line. Because if you try to beat these guys to the edge, these linebackers are very, very good. Handoff up the gut again, and he finds some room. And that time it's J.J. Rogers, the fullback. Are we going to see a fullback-centric game today? Julian Kemp, one of the best quarterbacks in the country, despite running triple option. It's going to be quick option. He decides to keep it, but he's brought down by Billy Zoots. You know him by that knee brace. The former BearCave reward player, one of the best players in the country. Yeah, the problem with the air raid in the game, and especially in Sim, is if you get out to a lead, then your team will start running it because they're trying to run out the clock. And then, obviously, you're in air raid, so there's not a lot of good run plays, and so you're prone to blowing leads. That's what we've kind of come to find with those air raid teams. Like, regardless of what scheme you're trying to run in the SFA, what has shown to really be the best time in and time out is just like a balanced offense. Doesn't matter what offense you're really running. If you're balanced and you have good players, capable players at each position, it's going to work in your favor. As we're getting a 4th down attempt here early in the game. 4th and 1. Can Army convert their game? Very aggressive, and Julian Kemp gets it. All right, so fresh set of downs here for Army. We've yet to really see him throw the ball. They get a quick pitch outwards, and once again, going out wide does nothing. J.J. Rogers brought down by Armani Campbell. Oh, yeah, this is definitely a fun matchup here tonight. For those that don't know, Coach Pinstripe of Buffalo, his former offensive coordinator, is the Army coach, Coach MZ. So this is their first time ever matching up. Big-time game for both teams is... loss for either team pretty much eliminates them from a possible playoff contention. So a lot on the line here today. Army, though, not looking all that great. Their offense has been very, I don't want to say, like, they've been, I guess, consistent, but a wide open man down the middle. There you go. Jabari Manning sneaking out of the backfield there. You got to watch those up backs. They'll sneak out to the slot and kind of kill you. Julian Kemp gives them a chance to win every time he's on the field, despite the Ruddy Rogers injury. As now they're threatening the red zone here. And quick option. Looks like there might have been a miscommunication there in the backfield. I think Julian Kemp might have been looking for a handoff, but he decided just to turn. Not quite sure what happened there, but it results in a loss. So 2nd and 11 now. If you're Army, you definitely want to keep pace in this game. You cannot fall behind in a rush-first offense, as J.J. Rogers gets a lot of that back. Really impressed with him running the ball. If they keep running it up the middle, they're having success. It's these outside runs that they just have not had success with today. As you can see on that left side, they're cheating that way. You got 3 guys on the edge. They're going to throw it this time over the middle, and he's going to be short. So Isaac Shelby unable to convert. So the question now, are they going to settle for 3? It does look like it. This is a 30-yarder, definitely testing the range of this freshman kicker. So Army can they get on the board? Yes, they do. Down the middle there for Army. And they are on the board here at home in what may be a game where there's not a lot of points scored. Buffalo returns it here. They get a nice little return from Steve Edwards. As the first quarter comes to an end, Buffalo's really had 2 drives. One was a 3-and-out, and another one was a nice long drive for a touchdown. So it'll be interesting to see how Buffalo responds. But we got goal line formation out of the kickoff. An interesting call there by Pinhead, as he gets about 6 on the rush. I guess it worked out for him. Buffalo now comes back out in this full house set with 2 running backs and the fullback. 2nd and 4 here, fakes it, and he's sacked! Sean Hill goes down. Nobody was threatened by that fake, and Evan Givens gets his first sack of the day, working on Cam Pringle, the right tackle. Former, I believe, 5-star right tackle prospect. So it's a 3rd and medium here as we head to the 2nd quarter. So the first quarter of action has proved to be rather low scoring. Like we said, the over-under set at 49.5, and we are currently at 10. So we flip the field now. It's going to be a 3rd and long here for Buffalo. They come back out empty. Can Army get off the field here and get the ball back? Now we're stacking this bottom line with the motion. 4-man rush. They dump that off, but Dale Shivers can't stay in bounds. He just runs out of room. And that's going to be a punt now for Buffalo. So 2 of their 3 drives now have been 3 and outs, as we see the punter Foster coming out. 4th and 4. Can he pin them deep? He's very good at reversing field. Army, they are going to have a chance to return this, and they can't do much as Robert Jackson gets only about 8. So Army, they started to move the ball last possession. They had to convert a 4th down, but they did convert a field goal. Can they build off that momentum from their defense? Julian Kemp here, he finds some room. He cuts inside. He breaks a tackle, gets about 7. Julian Kemp, you know, military schools are going to hate me, but he reminds me a lot of Keenan Reynolds, that notorious Navy quarterback. I see a lot of similarities between him and Julian Kemp, as that time J.J. Rogers gets absolutely blown up in the backfield. Dan Hackett getting through the line there. So they've been getting some good push up there on the middle, but that time it went nowhere. So a 3rd and 4 now. Julian Kemp under center yet again, only 1 slot back. They're going to throw it. Kemp here, and he runs out of time. He breaks the tackle, throws it on the run, and nobody is home. But there's a flag now. And they call pass interference on Billy Zoots. He was holding the receiver. And when you see those underthrown balls all the time, the defenders get caught in a tough situation where they either get tangled up or tripped or don't turn their head, and the refs called it. So a free set of downs here for Army, and they're in business. Toss out right. That's Jabari Manning, and he is stacked up by Billy Zoots. I'm sure Billy Zoots now is pissed off at the he's pissed off at the refs. 2nd and 9 now. Julian Kemp here. Man in motion yet again. This time it is Jabari Manning. I got to remember all these slot backs numbers. Williamson is number 33. Manning is 20. Remember, the number 1 option for Army, Ruddy Rogers, is out for the season, it looks like, unless he comes back a little bit early in the Bulls season. Kemp, he's going to throw it here. 3rd and 7 over the middle, and he underthrows his man. Threw it right at the feet. Thrash Daniels celebrating like he just won another national championship, as they're not going to go for it. They're just going to try and pin him deep now. They got lucky with 1 penalty, but it did not harm Buffalo, and they cannot pin him deep. So Buffalo gets the ball back with the lead. Ooh, pork chops. Nice. Remember, folks, we added commands as well into the chat as Buffalo takes over here. Handoff, Dale Shivers, and he pushes once again through the line, runs into him, and pushes for about 4. He's not getting stacked up and pushed back, despite being a speed back. So that's spells to be good fortune here for Army, or for Buffalo. 2nd and 6, and a dart thrown wide open man. And there's Graham Roth, the tight end, transfer from Ohio State from a few years ago. I formation now, a goal line formation actually. 3 tight ends on the field, and they're going to run power, and they are stuffed. I guess Buffalo thinks that their offensive line is a lot better than this defensive line, which is true, but I don't think you can be running goal line formation on 1st and 10 successfully. We got shotgun now, safety coming into the box. As Sean Hill, they're trying to get pressure. They're unable to as Calvin Tyrell makes his first catch of the day. And they're going to actually hurry it up to the line here. 3rd and inches. So are they going to try to quick snap this and run it as safety comes into the box, and they blitz him again, and he throws it away. So Army yet again forcing a 4th down. An aggressive call from Coach MZ works out, and Army's getting the ball back. So Army getting the ball here. A nice little return. He does get past the 20. First and 10 here for Army. They stalled out in plus territory last time out. Can they get back there? Shadow their own territory this time as J.J. Rogers once again doesn't get much. And Army might be in for a rough day if they cannot figure out how to run up the gut. This is the weakness of this defense, as you see Thrash Daniels cheating up to the gap. And Julian Kempe keeps it. He's definitely their most explosive player with Ruddy Rogers out, as he gets about 7. So 3rd and 3 incoming, but remember with the triple option, the quarterback's almost always the last option. So, and they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 guys on the line as they hand it up to the middle, and this time it converts. J.J. Rogers, and that's what you got to do. You got to be able to pose a threat on the outside, so they cheat that way, so then it opens up J.J. Rogers up the middle. Beautiful play there from Army. 1st and 10 now, and that one looked like it was a little bit of a miscue, as it was a late give there to J.J. Rogers, and he gets blown up by Whitmore. Oh, yeah, I guess. I was thinking that you look for the pitch first, and then you keep it, but yeah, I guess you can. Oh, and we get a quick sack. And who else but Matt Allen, one of the critical cogs of that defense from last year, the former 5-star CPU recruit. He just runs through that right tackle, getting to the quarterback. He would not be denied. So 3rd and long here for Army. This is not where they want to be. Everybody playing incredibly soft. As Julian Kemp is going to throw it. He is jamming it deep. One-on-one, trying to test Armani Campbell, and that just doesn't work. He's a cover athlete for a reason. He's not going to just give up a yam, as that drive went nowhere quick. So Buffalo getting the ball right back. We have a low-scoring game here today in the rain at Mitchie. Gotta love the change of pace. We go from Death Valley, where we had a 70-68 final in 5 overtimes, to a 7-3 game here in the 2nd quarter. Buffalo coming back. They're coming out in Wildcat here on this drive. Omari Dunn in motion, and he does not get his first carry. We actually see Dale Shivers keep it. He gets about 5. We've yet to see Omari Dunn, the freshman in-game SFA player, get a carry. He's back there out on the field in the backfield. That right-hand option. Handoff. Dunn. There's his first carry. He has some room on the outside. Can he turn the corner? No, he cannot. He's a little bit slower. He's more of a power back. But his first carry gets 9. Yeah, this Army defense has come to play. They're as advertised. Sometimes these group of 5 teams, the defensive numbers are a bit skewed because of the lack of competition, but Army seems to be for real, as we got a 2nd and 7 here. But we also know that this isn't the same Buffalo team that we saw last year. Oh my gosh, what a hit. Holy smokes, he reverses the field and he gets punished there by the safety. 3rd and short. One more block, though, and Shivers might have been gone. 3rd and short, and Army, they really have to come up clutch here, or they might be giving up more points. 3rd and 2, they're going to hand it off here. No, Hill is going to keep it yet again. This is what they gave up the touchdown on. Nobody's checking Sean Hill in the run game, and rightfully so. He only has about 67 speed, so he's not really known for keeping the rock, but it's really worked out for him. Fresh set of downs now inside the 30. They are in field goal range for Blake Foster as he's stacked up this time. Nate Johnson on the tackle. Army's been able to get that average down for Shivers, down to about 3. That's where they want it. As yet again, they meet Shivers in the backfield. This time, though, he pushes for 5. He's not going to go down lightly in the backfield. So they're 50% so far in the first half on 3rd down. This is a 3rd and medium as they come out empty yet again. When they come out empty, it doesn't really work. His free rusher, this is going to be a mid-screen to Calvin Tyrell, and he falls inside the 5. Calvin Tyrell getting the blocks he needed, and we got a fresh set of downs now. Buffalo is threatening here. With about a minute left here in the half. 1st and 10. Shivers, and he falls into the end zone. Touchdown, Buffalo. They take an 11-point lead here inside a minute left. Just never giving up. Nobody getting a hand on him. And that is a touchdown for Buffalo. So now Army, man, 2 timeouts, 59 seconds left. They really need to get a score here. They will get the ball after halftime. But if they can't come up with points here, this game could get ugly. Coach MZ, he was the offensive mastermind over at Buffalo. He's only has 3 points in this first half. And Army coming out in the shotgun. Split back set. Julian Kemp now. He's going to try to escape, but he's sacked yet again. Jeremy Everett this time, the other lineman. So 2nd and 13, they did not use a timeout. So clock is ticking. They may be okay just taking this to the break. They are going to try to throw it again. Remember, don't count out Kemp's movement as they just dump this off to J.J. Rogers. It's not going to go for much. Buffalo actually calls a timeout. So Buffalo now might get a chance to extend the lead even further if Army is unable to run this clock out. They come out in the I formation. Oh, it's going to be a play action. They throw it to J.J. Rogers. Can he get a first down? And no. They push him out just a yard short. So Buffalo now is going to get the ball back with 2 timeouts left. So Army completely ruining any chance here they have at scoring at the end of the half. And even worse, they're giving Buffalo the opportunity. They're going to have a nice return here if they get back to the 40-yard line. So Army's now in real danger of going down 3 scores. Actually, I guess a field goal is still 2 scores. So 16 seconds left, 2 timeouts. Got to play off. You got to watch out the deep throw. And here's Sean Hill. And they really have not been that creative in the pass game or attacking downfield. He had the one throw to Eric Decker down the sideline and then the one mid-screen that found some room. Other than that, it's been kind of lacking. But they throw it over the middle here, and that is a big-time catch for Graham Roth. So 7 seconds left here. Buffalo is in fringe they were in fringe field goal range, but I guess they were not close enough, so they're coming out for a Hail Mary here. Corner blitz doesn't get home. 1-on-1, and it's intercepted by wonder who that is. I don't believe that was Kenzo Carter. It may have been. So Buffalo's chance at points, it goes nowhere. So last play of the half, they are just going to fall on it. So as you head to halftime here in Week 8, Buffalo takes a 14-3 lead into half, a low-scoring defensive battle if you've ever seen one. And we've hit halftime, folks. If you don't know, if you haven't looked at the screen, we are now affiliated with Home Field, the collegiate apparel brand known for their vintage designs. And they just released a can't-miss tip-off, 7 days of releases for college basketball season tipping off here. Lots of cool stuff. They got T-shirts, they got snapbacks, some really cool, like, bomber jackets coming out for a lot of these basketball schools. It's not just football over there. They got about 180 schools that you can choose from. Tons of cool designs. So go check them out. Use the command !home field with a direct link. And make sure to use SFA, all caps, at checkout. It's so cool that we've been able to partner with Home Field. Love that brand. And it's just, it feels like we are like a legit broadcast, too. It's kind of fun. But in any event, here we go. Army's had more of the ball, but they've just been unable to really manufacture any explosive plays. Buffalo's gotten a couple, and those have led to their touchdowns. So it'll be interesting to see if Army can battle back. They do get the ball here first, and we are off. Welcome in, Mills. Not a ton of big plays, but that's all right as Army comes out here in the third quarter. Plenty of time left, only a 2-possession game. They really need to lean into Julian Kemp. They've been unable to find anything in the pass game, rightfully so. It's one of the better secondaries in the country. But Julian Kemp needs to be able to run the ball. And he goes nowhere there as he is brought down by, I believe, Thrash Daniels. And you're going nowhere fast if your best player has 1.3 yards a carry. So 2nd and 8 here. Once again, going triple option, and they are just crowding the line. You got to be able to spice this run game up. And they get some room there. A big-time run from Jabari Manning. So what looked like it was going to be an outside run, they just go right up the gut, and they get a nice gain. All right, fresh set of downs here for Army. Did Coach MZ find something at halftime? Make some adjustments? Can he punch back at Buffalo? 1st and 10. Kemp, he is going to throw here on 1st down. He takes off. He finds some wiggle room, and he gets about 5. Brought down by Billy Zoots, the cornerback. 2nd and 5 here now, right around the 50-yard line. Audibling, and they're going to throw it again. Corner blitz. He takes off again, breaks a tackle, and he slides just short of the 1st down. You would have liked him to try and make a move to get that first, but we'll take that over a sack. As Army is only 2 of 8 today on 3rd down, 25%. Big conversion needed here. You cannot miss this, and they hand it to the up man, and that is a fresh set of downs here for the Black Knights. Fans are now getting into it here at Mitchie. It's a cold, rainy night. Middle of the season, middle of October, early November. Got a 1st and 10 now, and a quick jet sweep to Jabari Manning, and he hesitates there, finds the hole, gets 6. 2nd and 4 now as we're inside the 40. This is one of the better drives we've seen from Army today. Man in motion, and they're not going to snap it. They're actually going to wait here. It's a quick option now, and a fumble! That ball's on the ground. It's picked up by Allen. Allen's returning it the other way, and he's brought down by the offensive lineman. A worst-case scenario there as he tried to pitch it. It hit the defender, and Buffalo is in business. Worst-case scenario there for Army as they fumble it away and give it to Buffalo in prime position, already up 11. Handoff now up the gut. Dale Shivers finding some momentum here as he gets about 9. That might have been the what is it? The the hay that broke the camel's back or whatever. If you're Army, man, you're a dink and dunk team. You run the clock. You have to convert there. But we got a 2nd and 1 now. We're empty again yet with Sean Hill. You got to watch the run. They bring a blitz. He floats it out there, and he converts. Mark Beverly, his first catch of the day. And we are inside the 35 now with Buffalo. And they're going to throw it yet again and finds him again. That's Beverly, the 2nd time in a row. Over the middle on the slant route, uncovered. And a fresh set of downs. We're in the red zone now. Buffalo starting to heat it up. They're flipping the defense, bringing a 4-man rush, and he's sacked that time. They don't give him the sack as he gets just past the line of scrimmage. But still a good play regardless for the defense, who really need to be able to force a field goal here if they want to stay in this game. Goal line formation now for Buffalo. They move the play. It's going to be a handoff up the gut. Shivers gets about 8. And a 3rd and short coming for Buffalo. Can they convert here? Coming back to the goal line formation. They hand it off. Dale Shivers reverses his field, finds a lane. Touchdown, Buffalo. Dale Shivers getting creative. He finds some room, and they take a commanding 18-point lead. As the home team is already shouting warm up the bus here. Who voted this game day over Georgia Clemson? So Buffalo with a commanding lead, and Army now, you're kind of on your back foot. You've got to score here. There's no other way to say it. You finally got some nice explosive plays, and they just threw it away with a fumble. This is kind of the last gasp here. Shamari Manning in motion. They're going to hand it off, and he hurdles a man, gets about 2. That was the hardest 2-yard gain you'll ever get. Is J.J. Rogers even up the middle, only averaging 3 a carry. Very uninspiring offensive game plan here for Army. As they hand it off here, break a tackle, reverse your field, get about 5. Everything coming incredibly difficult to Army today. This is a Army team who is 6-1, who started out the year with a big win over Notre Dame, or what they thought was a big win. Notre Dame has completely collapsed on the season, only has 2 wins. As I've said before, that Notre Dame win keeps on rusting as we go on. But they are still 6-1, which is quite a feat in of itself. But they got to get a win here tonight if they want any chance of that G5 bid, as that one goes nowhere. So 2nd and 13 upcoming. Ray McNeil making his tackle. It's just not an easy matchup when you face such great linebackers. 2nd and 13 though. Only 1 receiver on the field. Quick option here. He does get around the defender. There goes Julian Kemp. And he's brought down by Eddie Piper on the last grass tackle. That's what they need. Julian Kemp taking it himself. They want any chance of getting back into this game, it's going to be on the back of Julian Kemp. So here they are once again threatening inside the 35. Quick option again. He does flip it out this time. It was quite a dangerous flip, but he did work out. Gets taken down in the backfield. Thrash Daniels, of course. Second and 11 now. Once again, coming out under center. This time, though, 3 receivers, as they are going to flip the play here. It is going to be a throw. Running up the middle, a hole opened up for Kemp, and he gets a lot there. 17. You got to be worried when the QBs run like that. Knowing how good this secondary is at causing turnovers, they oftentimes will rip that ball out, but Kemp was able to get down there. Fresh set of downs here for Army. This is their best drive of the game. Can they punch it in? This is a massive moment for the Black Knights, and they go nowhere. J.J. Rogers, -2. Matt Allen, he had the fumble recovery last game. He just ran over the lineman right into the fullback. 2nd and 12 here for Army. As we get another handoff to the fullback. He does break a tackle this time, but it's going to be 3rd and long again. If you're Army, man, you can't settle for a field goal here. You just can't, man. 3rd and 9. What is the call here for Coach MZ? He puts a receiver in motion. They're going to throw. It's an all-out blitz, and they get to him. Kemp is sacked this time by Billy Grant, the cornerback. The slot, they bring in Gage 8, and it gets home. 4th and 13 incoming. Decision time. Do you go for it, or they bring out the field goal unit to make this a, what is that, a 15-point game if he hits it. It's going to be a 36-yarder. This might be the edge of the range, and they get it. So, down back to a 2-score game here for Army. It just feels like that the way Army plays, just not enough time, especially when they can't convert. So they're going to need a turnover. They're going to need a big play. They're going to need something to spark the comeback. As we get an update here from the ACC, Boston College getting a big win today over Duke. As you still have time here in the game, obviously over 10 minutes. Plenty of time for a 2-score deficit as Calvin Tyrell gets stopped. But Buffalo, they have been doing their job, just playing quality offense, quality defense, and, you know, not giving up a touchdown. This Army defense going to have to do more than just force a 3-and-out as they're yamming this one deep, and they connect, and that is Calvin Tyrell. He goes all the way inside the 15. A big-time game for the Buffalo Bulls. So they hurry it up now. They are going to, I guess they like the formation they're in as they're immediately in the red zone, trying to extend this lead. Hand off to Dale Shivers up the gut, and he breaks a tackle inside the 5. So 1st and goal, it's a 2-play already, like 79-yard drive, about full house formation. Can they punch it in? Shivers up the gut. Touchdown, Buffalo. So yeah, this game is definitely over as you have an Army team who takes like 4 minutes off the clock to try and get a field goal, which they do. But then Buffalo responds with a 3-play touchdown drive. So this game is over, folks. 28-6, 22-point lead. Gonna need 3 touchdowns, which for any team is a tall task, but especially a team that only runs the football and has not been running it really all that well, who's down their best rushing attacker. This game, it looks like it might be a disastrous result now for Army's seasonal hopes. They still have a chance in the division, obviously, but in terms of a playoff spot, they might be toast, as Billy Zoots brings down Julian Kemp. Still get about a quarter, though, of football here to showcase these two squads. 2nd and 1 here for Army. Really, now it's just about getting them a touchdown, getting on the board here. And Kemp does not convert there. So it's going to be 3rd and short. Third and inches here. And Julian Kemp, he's going to take it himself up the middle, and he does get a fresh set of downs here. Remember that over-under is set at 49.5. We're currently at 34, so still need a couple of scores. As Kemp is going to throw this, he tosses out to the running back who gets ran over by Eddie Piper, the safety. Only his 8th pass of the day, still under 50 total yards through the air for Julian Kemp. And as we come to the end of the third quarter, number 19 ranked Buffalo Bulls have a 28-6 lead over Army. That fumble was brutal, and it's been all Buffalo since. So 9 minutes left. Can Army make it competitive? Kemp, he finds his man over the middle, and it is dropped. Hit as he caught it. Ball squirts out. 3rd and 6 upcoming. Split back set here. Man in motion now. They're going to go back under center, motioning to option formation. And Julian Kemp, he is still going to keep it, and he slides down. I think a lot of times that Julian Kemp probably drops back with no intention of actually throwing the ball. It's just to get some separation from the secondary, allowing their best player to use his legs in space. This time he tries to do it again, and he is sacked. You can see it coming a mile away. Matt Allen gets his 2nd sack of the day. So for Buffalo, who is on a little road trip, in-state road trip to Syracuse and Army, it looks like they're going to come out 1-1. Getting a nice little top 25 win here. And there is TJ Sanderson's first catch of the day. Goes for a 1st down. Obviously the possession receiver committed here. It's a great idea, but obviously are they going to use him much? We don't really. We've seen it today. No. As Julian Kemp's going to keep it again. He finds the outside, and he meets Billy Zoots. He gives him a stiffy. And that's the kind of play we were expecting from Julian Kemp if they're going to have a chance in this game. Being able to use his legs, extend plays, break tackles, but he's only been able to do it maybe once or twice. As we are now under 8 minutes in the game, Army is in the red zone yet again. Can they score their first touchdown? Kemp, he does take off. He has some room on the right side. Can he get to the goal line? And he is absolutely destroyed. That's Cassius Dreyer. Or was that Eddie Piper? I don't know, but he got smoked. Yeah, it was Cassius Dreyer laying the boom. But 1st and goal for Army. Man in motion here. They're going to throw it and immediately throw it away. Julian Kemp did not like what he saw. 2nd and goal now. We know how good Buffalo is at forcing field goals in this situation or turnovers. In the case of that Ohio State playoff game. 2nd and goal here for Army as we get a quick option. He floats it out there, but they bring him down out wide. Not quite sure what the thought process is there from Coach MZ calling a edge play when the safeties are like 3 yards back. But here we are, 3rd and goal. Down 22, you got to have a touchdown. They're at about the 8-yard line here. It's going to be a throw from Julian Kemp. Over the middle, touchdown Army. Isaac Shelby gets the touchdown. Question is, are they going to go for 2 here? As Julian Kemp does break a school record. No, they are just going to take the field goal. Still down 15 here, but for those of you betting the over here tonight, that was a critical touchdown, as the over/under of this game was 49.5. And we get a nice return here for Buffalo. Now, I don't remember who, the first touchdown was Sean Hill, who was not listed in the first TD bets, so the sportsbook makes some money on that one. So 28-13 here in the fourth quarter. Buffalo, if they just run their offense, run the clock, should have no problem hanging on to this game. But they go play action fake, dumps that off, and that's Beverly who gets a first down as they are now across the 50. And it seems like the Buffalo offense has been running on all cylinders here in the second half, as Army's not really gotten any stops here. First and 10 for Buffalo. They are going to start running the clock as they do have the lead. No need to hurry up the game. They want to get out of here at 5-2 desperately, as they're just going to hand this one off to Shivers on the outside, and he finds some room, and he gets about 5. If Army wants a chance at this game, they've got to find a way to get the ball back in a hurry without the clock being absolutely drained. So second down here, they got the fullback and Shivers in the backfield. They flipped the play. Only about 4 down linemen, nobody threatening the box, which is weird, as this is most definitely going to be a run play as they try to take more time off the clock. So they're going to have to get some push by the defenders as they hand it off like we all thought, and we get a stiffy from Shivers, and he breaks free. That's going to be another first down. So the cornerback was able to break down, as now Shivers goes for over 100 as the clock now goes under 6 minutes. They come back now, 2 running backs this time in the backfield, Amari Dunn and Dale Shivers. Still nobody in the box helping out the regular 6 as they continue to bleed the clock. No chance for Army here. Already in like fringe field goal range, but Buffalo does decide to throw the ball. No pass rush to speak of, and that's intercepted. No! They call Kenzo Carter out. And no review. So a very, very lucky play there for Buffalo. They didn't get his feet in bounds, as that could have been disastrous for Buffalo, but Sean Hill keeps it, and he gets no yards. So it's going to be a 3rd and long incoming. They're going to be able to bleed this down to about 4 minutes and 30 seconds. But obviously the opportunities ticking away for Army. Watch out for Graham Roth in this situation. He's been so good over the middle today. So we go under 10 seconds left on the play clock here. Little pistol formation. Defenders playing very off, so Buffalo, even if they run it, can still get into field goal range, but they're going to throw the ball, and off the back foot, that was risky. He stops the clock, but Sean Hill almost threw it right to a defender. So 4th down, they're going to attempt a long-range field goal to put this game back up at 3 scores. It's going to be a 47-yarder here from right hash. The kick is up, and it's good. So Buffalo extends the lead back to 3 scores, virtually ending the game now. We got a scoreboard glitch, should be fixed after the return, as we get a nice little return here to the 25. But 31-13, 18-point lead for Buffalo. Game is in hand. They were able to bleed about 3 minutes off the clock and add points. Did everything they needed to do. Now Julian Kemp dumps it off. Billy Zoots cleans it up. Rinse and repeat. I don't know how ECU beat this team 41-5. That's just ridiculous. As Julian Kemp now just throws the ball away. 3rd and 9 upcoming. For those still awake, yes, football is being played. Not very good football, but football nonetheless. Julian Kemp, he slips, he stays up. Dumps this off to J.J. Rogers, and a missed face mask on the defense, per usual. 4th down. They are going to go for it. But refs were just as asleep as the audience. As going to throw it here on 4th down from Kemp. He's going to escape, and he gets the first down. So Army trying to put some more points on the board, maybe hit that over. A touchdown does hit the over now. Kemp, he's going to escape, and he's caught from behind. That's Whitmer, the transfer. His first sack of the day. They hurry the ball back up. Kemp back under center. He's going to throw it, and he just throws it away as they get immediate penetration into the backfield. Third down now, 7 for 15 here for Army on third down today. It feels more like 2 for 20. 3rd and 12, dumps that off. TJ Sanderson, can he get to the first down? No, he stopped just shy. Billy Grant on the tackle. 4th and 1 upcoming yet again. Army obviously staying on the field as it's a desperation as we got fullback, or we got heavy lines on both sides. Could be a play action fake again here as Julian Kemp tries and he trips on his fullback, and there's the game. That's just kind of the day it's been here for Army. So Buffalo, all they have to do is run the ball a couple of times and they can get back on the bus home with a W. Dale Shivers now, 5-yard gain. A touchdown does get the over, so sportsbook bettors are watching this game. Everybody else has clicked off as Shivers now gets about 1. Third and 3, Shivers finds some room, and he gets tripped up, saving the touchdown score. Wonder if anybody actually put the over on any of their bets here. 1st and 10, though. Here comes Shivers yet again up the middle, another 9 yards. Second and 1 as this game slowly comes to an end. Remember, folks, the Patreon watch party will go live right after this while I work on recruits, so feel free to dip over there. It was North Texas taking on UTSA, 2 user teams we don't often get to see. And then I'll be posting recruits as well. These VODs will be available later on tonight. And I will have a highlight video from that epic BearCave game from earlier today as Dale Shivers is going to score, and there is the over. 38-13, we hit the 50 mark as Buffalo extends the lead. So 46 seconds left in the game now, folks. As normally I will eat dinner and then I'll work on recruits, so they'll be ready in about an hour. As we get a toss out left here, and Jabari Manning gets nothing. Andy Clapp on the tackle. Army, Julian Kemp keeps it. He flips it out last second. There goes Jabari Manning. Jabari Manning down the sideline, breaks away, and Army gets their highlight. 7 seconds left, an 80-yard run from Jabari Manning. What a big-time play. They wish they would have had that a little bit more today, but a great moment for the fans that decided to stick it out. So get an onside kick here, so a little bit more fun shenanigans coming up. As Army does recover, so It's a little bit more interesting here, but obviously game is in hand. Still down 3 scores, but still funny. So another quick option here. This time goes nowhere. And as we hit triple zeros here in week 8 of the SFA Season 13, our defending champions, Buffalo Bulls, come into Michie Stadium and they get a well-fought win as they defeat the Army 38-20 here. A big-time game. Game pretty much never in doubt. A critical win for them as Buffalo goes home at 5-2 and Army drops to 6-2 and likely out of the top 25. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching and check out Home Field. Use code SFA and we will see you all next week. Peace. All right. 110, 30, end. All right, well, another game day in the books. Sorry that this one wasn't as great of a finish as that Clemson game. They won't always be. I will be doing a highlight video for that game because that was an all-timer. But let's check out the scoring summary. The first TD was Hill. He was not an option this week, so the house gets all the money. Shivers, though, ended up having 4 touchdowns on the ground. Check out the player stats here. Julian Kemp through the air. Not that bad. You know, you would like him to throw it a bit more. He didn't really start running the ball well at all till the very, very end. And obviously, Jabari Manning take out 80 yards there, and he had a horrible day. They just couldn't sustain any drives, and they kept stalling out when it mattered the most. Receiving-wise as well, you know, just nothing to write home about. Gave up way too much pressure on that strong right side as well. The defense, you know, they played really well in the first half. The second half, you know, they gave up the fumble. Obviously, that kind of just snowballed, lost confidence. Kenzo Carter couldn't get his feet in bounds when they could have made it a one-possession game, but he did get that end-of-half interception. So, you know, it's just one of those games where you're definitely overmatched, and you just don't quite have it today. You know what I mean? Buffalo, on the other hand, I mean, it was all running the ball. Sean Hill, he had a few yams, 1 or 2, that make up the majority of his day. No thrown touchdowns. Not a great performance. It was all on the ground, and then they kind of threw it deep once or twice. As Calvin Tyrell had 2 big-ish catches. Graham Roth had a good catch, and Eric Decker had that nice one early on. And on defense, lots of tackle for losses, lots of sacks, but the play of the game, obviously, for the defense, what really gave it to him was that fumble that went off Ray McNeil, and Matt Allen returned it for about 20 yards. A couple of sacks, a lot of sacks, 5 sacks. Yeah, that's 5 sacks. So, great win for Buffalo, much needed after their surprising loss to Syracuse. And let's check the players of the game before we get out of here. Remember, folks, that if you're not a Patreon user, go check out the watch party game. Typically, right when that watch party is ending is when I start doing recruits. Once I stop counting them, I'm going to eat my dinner here, and then I will get right into it and post all the regular stuff. Feel free to post your rankings. I'm going to post the rest of the game results and then standings. So if you want your votes counted in the coaches poll, feel free to do that. But yeah, as always, guys, thank you so much for watching and all the support. And we will see you on Monday for Week 9.